Hello, everybody, and welcome to a cup of self-empowerment to trust, heal, and be thyself. We're absolutely delighted to welcome a very special person, a dear friend of mine, all the way from Scotland into our cuppa hub today. And this is the most loveliest person I know in Scotland at the moment. And this is Evita McKay. So welcome, Evita.
Hello, and thank you for the warm welcome.
My pleasure. And for those of you who haven't had the pleasure to connect with Evita so far, let me just introduce Evita to you all. Evita McKay loves to help others evolve so that they can step into their potential and embody their best life. Evita is an open channel to source energy, which she profoundly shares through her in-depth connection to tarot and her mastery as a psychic medium. Her in-depth studies and practice in shamanic healing enables Evita to help others journey to the depths of their soul. And as a student of human design and a fan of breathwork and body movement, Evita helps you shift all that no longer serves. So welcome, Evita.
Thank you. Yes, it is so nice to be here.
Good, I'm glad. So, when we talk about, in our cuppa sessions, it's all about, how we learn to trust, heal, and be ourselves. And it always starts usually with that initial trusting. And some of us always struggle at the beginning with trusting ourselves. And so how would you like to share to our audience today how you started trusting thyself on your personal journey?
Well, it certainly has been a journey, Kelly. It hasn't been an easy journey, I would say. But I think it's still in a progress. It's not something as a finished thing.
Yeah.
So I'm still going through and learning how to trust myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that trusting your intuition, I think, for me has been a big, big thing.
Yeah.
Learning to listen to it and to trust it and to follow it.
Mm.
I think when it started, I think it started around my teens.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, well, when I started to kind of get into the whole thing, my whole kind of journey, and it was actually I had quite a difficult time around that time, and I needed to kind of grow up really quickly.
Okay.
So I needed to trust my own self to
Yeah.
make a lot of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all these kind of things, like in my 20s as well, I had a bit of rough time, and 30s were much easier. And I think all of these kind of things, all of the whole journey
Yeah.
has led me to actually kind of listening to myself more.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's not an easy thing. I totally get it when people say, how can I trust myself more, because
Yeah.
there's always so many things happening, and you get loads of you know things, kind of life just throws things at you, and then you need to kind of make the right kind of decisions and calls and all that kind of stuff to respond to that. But yeah, I think that's through my life challenges, I would say,
Yeah.
I have learned to trust myself, in
I think
short.
it's I think it's for a lot of us that way. You literally you think life kind of throws kind of curveballs at you, and
Yeah.
you're always searching for the answers, and a lot of the time you're searching like outside of yourself. And then you start asking those questions and start realizing that intuition starts kicking in, where sometimes the information or the guidance that you're getting from outside might not always resonate 100%. And there's something within you which is saying, but to do it this way, you need to do it this way. And I kind of feel sometimes, like you say, you kind of have to be your own soldier, kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I've got the tools
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I
And
need to reclaim them. And, only obviously support from outside is always beautiful. And, we do need that too. But initially, to really reclaim that trust for ourselves is so important. But as you say, so, so difficult at times. And yeah.
it's challenging because, to listen to yourself, it takes time and practice and patience.
Yeah.
You know, and it does get easier, I think, as it goes. But you know, like I'm still learning. I'm still learning how, you know, when I need to trust. Do I trust
Mhm.
getting, you know? But most of the times, actually, my intuition's pretty okay, but pretty
Yeah.
good, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Don't
And
you
also,
find also that, um, the minute you don't trust yourself, you're getting that bit of information which is inviting you to step up and trust yourself. And if you ignore it, if you're ignoring that intuition, then it unfolds and you're like, I knew that was going to happen. I knew, and I knew I should have trusted that. So it's
yeah.
really like knowing that that first feeling which is coming into you is the
Mhm.
one you need to trust. Yeah.
It's kind of gut instinct.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I study human design, and I'm a manifesting generator, and I know my gut is like major kind of thing, like for me to tell
Yeah.
me if I'm on the right path or I'm in the wrong path. And
Mm-hmm.
listening to that, it's a very embodied feeling.
Yeah.
It's not something that comes from outside. It's just right in your belly. You just know it. Either it's a yes or it's a no. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, sometimes maybe there is something later or something like that, but I really, if I think if I follow that and knowing my human design, I
Yeah.
know that life is taking me where I need to be.
Yeah.
And
And
that's,
that takes trust to trust that as well, to know,
yeah,
according to your design, and that that's the way you work, that's the way you
yeah,
can read
yeah.
yourself, and
Like,
to actually, to fall back onto that as well. That is also an element of trust, to trust that as well. So it's really,
yeah, yeah,
really good that you can, and as you say, it's a process. And the more you start to do it, as you said yourself, the more you realize, okay, I'm following my breadcrumbs. I'm doing what I'm
yeah,
supposed to do. I'm safe. I'm being guided. Okay, I might have a few bumps and curveballs on the way, but might actually be there for a reason, because I'm learning something from that, or it's going to divert me in the direction that I'm actually supposed to be going. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
life is kind of taking you. I don't think you really can go off the path or totally, well, I don't think so. You're always going to be led back to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could, maybe there's a little detour or something like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, because there may be a lesson still. You haven't something learned yet. So maybe you need to be there at that time, doing that thing, you know, even though your gut was screaming like, don't go there, don't do that, you know, and you've done it.
Yeah.
But there's a lesson in that. And
That's true.
if you are very aware, if you become really aware of that, what's happening with you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think you're okay either way. You know, I think, yeah, so I believe a lot, like being awareness of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your you know, things what's happening
Yeah.
daily basis in you, you know, like kind of um just like your thoughts and your feelings and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, it all starts with that initial trust. And like, when I introduced you, we've heard what healing modalities that you've stepped into, what you've embodied, what you're
Yeah.
also sharing as well with others. So, how did that trusting lead you then on to start going on the journey of like healing thyself, or like helping to heal others?
Um, okay, well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how it's happened, but I kind of tried to look back actually today. I was thinking about it. My whole kind of journey has been so kind of led that path that way. Okay, so
Wow.
since I was a kid, you know, it's like even when I couldn't probably kind of tell, like there wasn't words to really describe
Mm.
my path. Okay, like what I was about, what I was seeing, what I was feeling. But I had this kind of incredible peace throughout. Like when I was in nature, I was very connected to nature. And then things kind of start to unfold for me. You know, there was in my teens, there was tarot start to come in. You know, it's just such a fascinating thing. Okay. So
Yeah.
tarot, I was absolutely amazed by the whole thing. I was just like, what, cards can actually tell so much, you know? And I see them as just a guidance kind of tool, okay? But at the time I was like, this is just something quite incredible. And it opened a completely new door for me, okay?
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So inquisitive. I was so kind of, you know, that feeling like I need to learn more and more and more. And that's a thing. I was just like, I couldn't get a hold at that time on a lot of things. Even I
Okay.
didn't even had like tarot cards, okay, proper tarot cards. They were printed out of book and cut up and all that
Yeah,
kind of
but
stuff.
that's great. That was the passion which was
And
standing there
that
for
was
guiding
just
you to
like,
it. It was still guiding you, and you were just so
yeah,
passionate that you just followed it through and created your own.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
There were these tiny, I still have them actually, some of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they were just these tiny little cards, and I just love them, okay? And it was much later on, I think it was in the early 20s when somebody gave me the first set, okay? First real set.
Wow.
And that was just like, okay, I need to learn more. And I kept buying books and books and now by now I have so many tarot cards. It's actually far too much, okay? Far too much tarot cards. But it's the whole thing. It's always followed me. Tarot has been such a huge part of my life. You
Mm,
know, I kind of stopped doing it for a while and not been feeling like I want to do it. I always want to go back to tarot.
yeah.
Or somebody comes and asks, Evita, can you do tarot for me?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like that is when life comes to us, okay?
Oh,
It just invites you
that's
into doing,
true.
yeah, inviting you to do something that you know, you're actually maybe good at. And there is some kind of, you can give something to
Mm,
others through that process. And that's part of that, but I start to trust myself, okay, as well. Because
mm,
before, you know, there was a lot of times when I was like, you know, a lot of self-doubts, a lot of kind of things. It's this, I loved it. The love never stopped for tarot. Okay.
yeah.
It never, ever, ever stopped. But I doubted myself. And
Yeah.
then I need to
Yeah.
learn bit by bit to trust myself. Okay.
Mm,
And the more I was doing actually, and I realized the more I do it, the more I go in that flow. And the cards they just speak so beautifully when you allow them, you know, just to kind of, you just look at it and you see some kind of story unfolding there and you think, well, that's wonderful, you know. It's a privilege.
yeah.
It's a privilege for somebody to come, that when they come to me and they ask me, Vita, can you help me in some kind of way, you
Yeah.
know. And if I can do that, I'm just honored. I'm totally honored and I love it. I really do.
No, I can feel it, and really, I
Yeah,
can feel it in my whole body, the passion that you
yeah,
have about these
yeah,
cards. And I think
yeah,
what's really interesting is like also something which we can share with the viewers is the fact that you know if it lights you up, and if that passion is there,
yeah,
you're gonna know it's something for you. Like how just see how Avita is just like
yeah,
glowing and just like
yeah,
loving when she's just talking about the tarot, you know, and
yeah.
it's not like you need to really go out there and buy everything. There's ways around it, you know, if the
Hmm.
means aren't there for you, it's still able for you to create. I mean, you created your own deck, you built your own deck with, you know,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like,
everything's possible. And
yeah,
you would create, and you obviously you followed that intuition to do that because you wanted to do it. So you were being guided the whole time from,
yeah.
yeah, it's just incredible. So how did it start actually with the mediumship?
Well, that was kind of unexpected. I was always, they used to kind of think, like, I have been always interested in spiritual, you know, like same like you know, like in
Mm.
different kind of modalities and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
some things are for me, some things are not, you know, and sometimes you need to try it to really
Yeah,
believe.
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't gel, and that's fine because we don't need to do everything, you know. We're all here to do what we're supposed to do and to embody what we need to know for our soul's journey.
And I think it just came to me. It was like, and it was something I resisted the most, to be honest. I was just like, no, I don't really want to do it. It's not really for me. And it wasn't a love from first sight, but I was interested, okay?
Okay.
And but again, so it happens so that life just comes again, okay? And they asked me to do it, okay? And obviously, when I first I was doing a course with you as well together, and it was a really interesting course, and I think I got so much from it as well. And
you were a natural at it as well. It was just streaming in. I think they were queuing up Ron to knock on Evita's door to come through.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was really good, and I you know, although you're kind of dealing with a subject that's very kind of, it's not always the easiest.
It's a
Okay,
very tender subject as well.
yeah,
There's a lot of emotion can come up with that
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I
Pain.
deal with a lot of people who are suffering and
Yeah.
pain, somebody, and so I never take anything like that lightly, ever, ever. So there's a great responsibility that comes with that kind of work as well. So I totally understand that. But when it kind of started to happen, it was just, and I said no so many times, I'm not doing it, and I'm getting thrown back into it. You need to do it. Okay. I can't explain it. I really don't know how it happens, but that's how life obviously wants me to. Like, life is just saying, look, Evita, you're good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And we're people that that needs that little bit of reassurance that, there is life after death, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
Is that's what most people are looking for. They just want to know, that there is somebody looking out for them, and that their loved ones are safe, and, and everything's fine with them. And, that's, I think, again, it's a beautiful thing if you can give that to others, and yeah, but it's something I'm still kind of like, there's days I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, but it just happened so that I need to.
Yeah.
So I'm just going with that. Like,
I think, and obviously probably like all the modalities, like, because you're really deep into understanding yourself. It's like, with the breath work, and also with the shamanic journeying. I can't say journeying today for some reason, but, for this shamanic journeys that you lead. And that, you really are able to hold that safe space for someone to really receive what they need to receive, and to be that clear channel for spirit, and obviously it's been watching you and wanting you to do this work. That's why it keeps weaving its way back into your life and saying, hey, Evita, no, you come this way. We need you here.
It's really interesting. Yeah, I because I have done this kind of work for quite over a decade now. Is the manic work and all that kind of stuff, and you do work with the spirit world. Okay, maybe not always with deceased loved ones, but you work with spirit guides and stuff like that. So you need to be the channel, and obviously that's if there is a channel, why not connect with that person, because she can pass on the message. So that's how it works.
Did you do a lot of this for yourself as well? Did you, like, obviously before you started learning all these modalities, or well, not learning so much, because some of it was just there and just wanting to be, used as such, it was switching itself on. Did you feel that you wanted to experience the shamanic journey, and for yourself as well as, for giving it to others as well? And,
Well, everything I've done started as myself. I've never went into anything was like, I'm going to do this for, like as something else. Everything I've done, it's just been like a healing kind of thing for me. And either it's shamanic work, it was because I had a difficult time in my kind of late 20s, and I needed to get out of a very difficult relationship. And it was such an amazing healing experience for me. Because I experienced it, how it changed me. Yeah, I could do something with that later on for others. Everything was tarot, it was for myself. Was mediumship, it was for myself. It was all these kind of things. I need to actually believe what I'm doing.
Of course.
I can do that if I actually allow myself to really truly embody that and experience that. Otherwise, there's no point. I can't talk with passion about something if I haven't kind of like really let that be there, and
I understand
live
completely.
live within me for
Hmm.
a, for sometimes for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So when was the moment where, obviously this is a journey which always continues for us all,
yeah,
every single person, regardless whether you are doing the work for yourself, if you've now starting to share the work you've done with yourself and help others step into their, into their gifts and how, just connecting to themselves as well, into the spirit world, or whatever they need to make themselves, feel good in themselves and to start trusting and to healing and just being who they're supposed to be. Was there a specific moment where you would say, where you said, okay, sometimes we tend to shy away and don't want to be seen. Was there a moment where you said, okay, now is the time for me to really start sharing this? This is work. So as you said, you needed to feel it for yourself. You've done all the work for yourself as well. And this is work. We're all a work in progress. But when was the moment when you're like, okay, I'm really ready to start passing this on to others, as in to sharing this gift?
I think it's only really, truly very recently when I'm kind of like, yeah, I can do this. And
Okay.
it's not like, the thing is, it's not like I haven't done it beforehand. It's just, I have this personality as well. And this is like me being very honest. I'm very shy. I shy away quite a lot
Mm.
from a lot of kind of exposure. Okay. It's my hermit nature, and there is actually human design. I have that hermit kind of thing about me.
I understand that so well.
And they need to call me out basically to share the gifts, so and they do. And that's the thing, they actually call me out, and they say, look, Evita, you can't actually do this. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know if I really wanted to, there was like a lot of fear. And that's why when we were talking about right at the beginning about the trusting kind of thing, like I said, it's still a process for me
Yeah.
to trust. I do trust myself more than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Is I just go now. If somebody calls me, and if there is an opportunity and I feel aligned to that, I go with that. Because
Brilliant.
always, always a lesson for me, always something I learn. And I do feel a lot of satisfaction afterwards. And for going back to human design again, for manifesting generator, that's a massive thing, a satisfaction. I feel amazing satisfaction if I
Yeah.
can help somebody, if I can give somebody something
Yeah.
of my time, of my energy, of anything I've learned. I'm over the moon. Like literally, that just makes my day.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, so what advice would you like to give our viewers today, on their, if they feel like they're getting a nudge or where they feel like, they need to, I don't know, there's stuff coming up for them and they want to start going on their own little journey. What would be the best takeaway that you'd like to give with them today?
well, I think it's everything starts with trusting. Okay. And I'm probably one of these people that has taken the longest time, a really long time.
I think we all take a long
Yeah,
time.
long time, long time. And but some people may be a little bit braver and they just like, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Hmm.
Um, but I do believe there's time and place, and everything happens when it needs to happen. So
Hmm.
you can really rush something,
Yeah.
if it's not, because sometimes just it's just not gonna something's not gonna work out, I think. But if you just kind of trust and believe that that everything that needs to happen will happen, you will absolutely will be in the right place with right people doing the thing that you love doing the most. I really absolutely believe that. And it honestly, it's amazing, amazing feeling.
Oh,
Really feeling, and just trust yourself. I mean, and put that little bit of kind of an anxiety, worry, all these kind of things a little bit aside. Just saying, look, I know I'm absolutely terrified to do
hmm.
this,
Yeah.
but I know I need to go there because my whole heart is taking me there. It's actually taking me. It wants me to be there. I need to go there. And I'm not going to worry. I'm just not going to worry about anything else right now. I'm just going to follow that. I follow, myself, my own heart. And what can be better than that? I really believe that. You need to do that. Otherwise, yeah, I think, well, like I said, you can't really go wrong. You will get there eventually anyway. But if you can just put sometimes that kind of a little bit fear aside and just like, look, I know this is what I need to do, and you just go for it.
That's
Wonderful.
That's
They
brilliant.
do.
It is. I like the fact you say, trust it in your heart. Your heart knows, your heart's guiding you. Yeah, of course,
Mhm.
your mind's going to come in and say,
Eh,
of course it
that-
is, because it's trying to protect you, because it's
mm,
going from the worst possible, thing what can happen. But at the end of the day, as you said, your heart knows best and your heart's guiding you. And there's a reason why your heart's pulling you to do that. And it is, I think, yourself, every time you allow yourself to be heart led, even if the fear is there and then you've done it, the joy, as you say, how you feel, this
yeah,
elation afterwards, that and to know you've been able to help someone and that they're feeling good.
yeah. There is a great satisfaction.
Yeah,
Something that you,
satisfaction of service, basically.
yeah, it is, and yeah, it's just trust your heart, trust your gut, and I think life will just take it. I always believe things, for me, it seems to happen. So that a lot of things come to me, and I'm grateful. For a lot of people, they do, but that's the awareness again. We need to just be aware when these things do come, and then you kind of like feel it. You feel it if it's for you or not for you, And then when you feel it, it's for you, and then you hear this mind chatter and fear starting to talk. That is something you need to ignore for time being. Like you just ignore it and just go there. Just go, and everything will be fine. I always, I've always had only the best experiences, really, out of that. So the worst never ever happened. So actually, the best actually has happened for me every time.
That's
And
such encouragement for everybody to just witness. So thank you
yeah,
for sharing that. Thank you so much.
yeah.
So if anyone's feeling like, they want to work with you or want to find out more about you, how is the best way for people to reach out to you, Evita?
Probably through Instagram.
Okay. How can they find you?
Evolve as Evita.
Okay.
So you can look me up there. And then you can get in touch with me if you want to.
That would
Yeah.
be brilliant, I'm sure. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I hope everyone's enjoyed this cuppa as much as I have. I feel really, it's so nice and bouncy energy here. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
So
So
everywhere.
much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Always, always my pleasure. And for everybody else, have a beautiful day, afternoon or evening, depending where you are in the world. And I hope to see you on a cup of self-empowerment very, very soon. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and bye-bye. And thank you, Evita, again. Thank you very much.